Well, hello there, YouTube. How's everybody doing today? And hello there to Mad Dog Productions. We actually have a bigwig in the area. I'm playing. I'm not really that bothered. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a couple of stories. Not too much. As you can see, Mr. Ogre's not here at this moment in time. I'm not 100% sure why on this issue. I don't know. But I have my mate Johnson Quinn with me today.
Hello.
How are we doing then, Mr. Quinn?
Bloody hot. I'll be completely honest with you. It's stinkingly hot. But otherwise, I'm good, thank you. How's you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad at all. I've had some problems with Yale Council today, but I've been able to sort them quite relatively, so it's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad to be fair. Got some videos that I want to be doing recently. I've got one that's done on transgenderism. I've got one that's already done that's going to be coming out on Friday from BBC Three about I think it's about veganism. Yay!
Oh god, them.
Yeah, I've got another video that's going to be coming out very soon. Another one about fucking Progressive Voice. I'm so glad I found him because like he does 4 videos a day, and I could quite easily do responses to those 4 videos every day. Because just honestly, his points of view are so skewed, so one-sided, and as I pointed out today, so hypocritical. His self-awareness is literally zero.
Oh,
well, yeah. I mean, have you got anything that you wanted to talk about before we carried on?
To be honest, about the only thing I really would say, it's not like he's going to see it, but well done to Magic Bollocks for the sheer number of bloody subs the guy's got recently. It is getting freaking ridiculous. Well done to that guy.
Yeah, he needs to stop buying them.
Yeah, bloody Russian bots.
Exactly. Stop buying them and stop getting on Reddit. Nah, fair play to him. He's got, I think it's over 2,000 now, isn't it? Last time I checked.
I know, it's insane.
Yeah, it's well done to him and well played to him. It just goes to prove who was the best out of the 3 of us, and it was Magic Bollocks all along. Nah, fair play to him, and fair play to anybody that actually gets anywhere in doing YouTube. However, they get it done. Fair play to him. It's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, voice. I was trying to say, do you want a link? But you know, me, language, there is a barrier there. So if you want a link, then I'll send it to you on Twitter. But I do need to know if you want to come on, or if you want to stay at home fucking your sofa. One of them.
To translate, voice, come on. Okay, that pretty much covered it.
Oh, that's. I don't know about that. That's a bit forceful. It's a bit rapey.
All right, voice, come on. We have sofas. There you go. That will sort him.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. He will now. Oh, I know how to get him on. Potato.
Oh, no, don't do the potato jokes. Come on.
I fucked it up. He's not coming on now, is he?
Well.
There will be days. There will be days. Right, I've sent you the link. You can come and call me a bigot anyway. So come and play with me, big boy.
I think I should be leaving. This is getting disturbing.
No, we need a witness.
Okay, that's even more worrying. Okay, no worries.
we need a witness. We need to make sure that we both leave alive. So we need a witness.
Ah, you mean a first aider? I understand now. Right.
No, we need a witness.
It's just not happening. Love voice to pieces, but I'm not giving him the kiss of life. Ew.
Yeah, that means he's going to give me the kiss of life. I made a friend. Yay, friend.
Oh.
Kissing friends. Wait, I'm turning into bollocks. Wait, maybe that's a good. Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
He's here. God damn it, he's here.
Voice. You're very quiet. Talk up.
I think he's sorting out his microphone. He normally has that problem at the beginning. He can't normally perform straight away. Normally has to try and stroke himself into a readiness.
I swear, if this gets gay, I'm leaving.
Huey!
I'm just glad you didn't hear the other stuff we've been saying. Oh boy.
It's all right. I'll be watching this later. Notes
Yeah.
will be taking.
I have a friend. Just the one.
So
I was
how-
actually watching.
I've watched your video, believe it or not. I've been watching your stuff quite recently. I like your new setup. It's quite a good setup.
Well, thank you, sir. I was watching your video today as well. Why would you be responding to such a little fuckwit?
Because he's a dick.
I mean, like, he looks like, Cenk Uyghur's, deformed, retarded, bastard child of some sort.
I wouldn't go bastard child. I'd probably go rape victim child.
He's a sort. He looks like a sort of guy who could quickly throw on a headdress and Allahu Akbar somebody.
I definitely have the impression that he has some sort of religious ties, especially the way that he was talking about this is the definition of God and this is how God is. And it's just like, well, you're either religious and you can say what your definition is, or, you're just fucking retarded.
Little wank bag.
Kind of like the missus that you fucking did on today.
Oh, she's a fucking idiot. But at least I'm punching up. At least she's somewhat famous,
Hey, he's got 20,000 subscribers. Fuck you.
Oh, come on. Like, anybody watches this shit. There's probably like 20,000 subscribers and 6 people watching.
2,000.
You get more fucking views than that, for fuck's sake.
Not on a regular basis, I don't. Not on a regular basis. It depends on the content of the video.
It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. Especially since somehow who sucked Dank off to get him on? Right.
No, that was all Ogre, to be fair. Ogre got both of Coach Red Pill on and Count Dankler. I can't take any responsibility for that. He set that up behind my back. I didn't even know about it until the Friday.
I have to say, though, Coach Red Pill he went after Dank for some reason.
Yeah. He really did go after him, and I don't really understand the reasons why. Because Coach Red Pill is supposed to be this big advocate for freedom of speech and that type of ideology, but yet because Count Dankula is going to a party and trying to say that it's freedom of speech, and Dankula does whatever Dankula does, which is up to him, obviously. Surely you would support that in the idea of free speech, but because you have this, I don't know, hatred towards certain groups of people and certain friends of people, it's kind of associating people altogether. I don't really understand it. I don't understand this antagonistic fight that they wanted to do.
I think, Sargon's showing more love to Dank than he is to Red Pill. I think that's the problem.
Jealousy.
Yes, I honestly do think that, because I don't know, as much as, I'm not really a big fan of Coach Red Pill, but, I think he's got other motives. I don't think it's just, let's have a reasonable conversation. I think, he was taking advantage of the situation for other purposes during that debate or that talk you were having.
Yeah, I kind of got the idea that he was punching through Danks to reach somebody behind him. That's what I got the impression of. He was trying to get through Dank to get to somebody else.
Never trust someone who has time to rig up 3 cameras to film themselves. One's all right, but recording yourself with 3, no. That's egotism on a new level.
And one that used to do this as a beginning of each and every video.
Oh God, no. I thought he was just really old and he was activating the clapper,
Nice.
Is that what you call it nowadays?
Actually segues quite well onto one of your stories, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of them. Not the first one, though. Not the actual first one, unfortunately. But yeah, it does kind of segue. I suppose I better segue. So we have koala bears. Lots and lots of koala bears. Yay.
I'm sorry, just the fucking headline.
Yep. That's the reason why I picked it.
Koalas now have AIDS, I take it.
No, they've got,
No, they have chlamydia.
that's where it came from originally. Chlamydia is actually a koala disease.
That's why it's called chlamydia.
How it was, it came across to the humans. Can't imagine.
So someone actually fucked a koala.
Basically,
It's better than fucking the sofa. At least it's warm.
Yeah, but you don't catch things from sofa.
True.
You know, a bit of burning now and again, you know, from the leather, but no,
Yeah, that's what lube's for, though, mate.
lube's for pussies. In dry.
Well, at least we're talking about sexually transmitted sofas while we're talking about sexually transmitted koalas. So either or. Okay, let's get on to the actual fucking story. Saving koalas. Gene study promises solution to deadly sex disease. That's called sophorism. Despite being possibly the world's cuddliest creature, the super sweet koala is also one of the unluckiest animals on the planet because humans have obviously fucked it to get chlamydia.
Oh, yeah.
Australia's most famous tree hugger has been ravaged by sexually transmitted diseases. Sorry, he's not that much of a slut. He only has one. Attacks from dogs, being hit by cars, and habitat loss. Chlamydia has spread fast in koalas, causing infertility and blindness. Now, spreading fast, does that mean that they fuck a lot? Because I thought that they slept for like 18 hours a day.
So did I, actually. Good point. Which means basically for 6 hours a day they are shagging like rabbits. Awesome.
I'm not sure it's awesome, but it's kind of interesting. I don't want to give off the wrong kind of vibe because, you know, I might have started chlamydia. Oh, Jesus. I'm dying already. But scientists say decoding the genome should lead to an effective vaccine for the STD. So if they can do the genome for koalas to be able to cure the STD, can they not be able to do that in humans and themselves, or does it have a particular lifespan? Or I don't know. Maybe it's just weird. Australia pledges. Wow, I'm doing well. It's almost like I should be drinking, but I'm not. Australia pledges cash to save koalas. Australian Zoo welcomes a rare white koala. Koala survives 16K ride on a car axle. That would be interesting. I would kind of like to find out how that happened, but that's for another day. In fact, researchers say they've been amazed by the information that's been hidden in the marsupial's DNA. While they'll find a gene for cuteness, they've worked out how koalas can survive solely on a diet of eucalyptus, which poisons most other creatures that consume it. This has nothing to do with fucking sexually transmitted diseases. What are you doing? This has no... Right, chlamydia is a horrid infection in koalas. That's better. In addition to blindness and infertility, koalas endure something called dirty tail. Well, that would mean something completely different to us.
Oh, yes.
This is...
Once I read that, I knew someone was going to say something.
What can I say? I am a dirty towel. Or I'm a dirty MGTOW? Yeah.
Yep.
One or t'other. A painful inflammation in the urinary tract that often results in the animal's death. Well, that's not fun.
No.
That's not fun. Researchers have tested vaccines in the past, but say the new information will speed up the process. The genome absolutely brings a vaccine closer. Lead author Professor Rebecca Johnson and her from the Australian Museum Research Institute told BBC News. It's really crucial information to continue the development of a chlamydia vaccine. Is that just to humans? I found out where they got chlamydia from.
Yeah.
I found out where they got chlamydia from. The thing is, he's
because
asleep.
that Professor Johnson swallowed.
No.
I think that they did more than that. He's asleep. This is rape. This is solely rape. Just look at the way that she's looking at him. That's not how you look at an animal. That's a lusting look.
That is.
Wow, that's actually disturbing.
Not unless she's looking at the tree. I'm not 100% sure on what side she's on.
You
Either
see,
way, that's disturbing.
I believe we can blame this totally on the furries. This is what happens when things get out of hand. Kill the degenerates.
Calls me a furry, and now you're going to lump me in with this shit. Fuck you.
How the fuck are you a furry?
I call him a furry.
Yes.
Oh, right. Then you must know something I don't.
I'm a cat, remember? Apparently I'm a cat, so that makes me a furry. See, that just looked of shock. What's the doctor trying to do at this point in time with the poor fucking koala? Look at it. It's got something in its mouth and it's like, fuck!
She's just whipped him out and shocked him. That's all it is.
Oh dear. Oh dear. See, that's just after being raped. It's like, don't touch me. Just do it. I'm fine.
It almost so funny, but it actually does have that face. It actually looks like it's been abused, the poor little thing. Bloody Australia.
Get me out of here. He's taking me away. He's going to rape me. It's a good thing that it's a Monday when it's supposed to be deadly serious. Deadly serious now.
Yeah, well, that sort of went pear-shaped, didn't it? Oh, dear.
I just like the face on that. I just love the face on the koala. It's just a case of, please don't take me. I don't want to be raped. I know you're wearing a suit, but that just means that you're posh. It doesn't mean you're not going to rape me.
Dude, man, Australians are weird.
I think we all are.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, speak for yourselves. I'm completely normal.
You're Irish. You're the weirdest of the lot of us.
Oh, now that's bigotry, sir. That's bigotry.
It's not bigotry. It's a fact.
That's a stereotype about us.
No, it's not a stereotype. It's only a stereotype if it's not true, and it is true.
Oh, dear.
Oh, does anybody have anything to say on koalas having sexually transmitted diseases?
Simply put, what the bloody hell are the Australians doing spreading it around like that? I mean, seriously, I know they've got this whole thing about drop bears and whatnot. What happened? Did one drop on their dick while they was asleep at night? I mean, really, people? Seriously?
Koala's nocturnal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Which means the poor thing was asleep and got mugged while it was up its tree quite happily. Poor.
Wait, was it up a tree or was somebody else up its tree?
Yeah, good point.
Nah.
Well, just like the dodo, koala had its time, and nature has decided to kill them. So
I'm not sure nature's decided to kill them. I think humanity's decided to fuck them like they fucked everything else. Literally.
No. As a great scientist once said, life finds a way. Only in this example, it's life finds a way to kill something.
He's not a scientist. He was a mathematician, and it was from Jurassic Park.
So?
He wasn't a scientist.
Well, he was a scientist.
No, he was a mathematician. He was a chaos theory mathematician.
You do understand that wasn't a documentary, don't you? Okay, that was a movie. Okay, I just needed to understand. That was all.
Yes, because you could put amphibian DNA with reptilian DNA and it would actually coexist together.
Yeah, you got to love Hollywood and its strange ideas.
Except, the remaking of, 2 Jurassic movies now. Not original stories, 2 remakes. So,
actually, Jurassic World was actually part of one of the later on of the actual books. It's actually based on one of the books, and it's actually as dark as the actual book is supposed to be.
Oh, fuck off! Like you've ever read a book?
I've read one or two. Just they had pictures of pretty women in them.
I've eaten a book.
Somehow
Yes,
that
gained
doesn't
its
actually
power.
surprise me.
Gained its power. I will eat this book to gain its knowledge and its power.
Well, some African tribes believe eating people gets their power, so, you know, just saying.
Which I always found interesting because you say, for instance, you've actually killed that person to obviously get its power. Surely that means you're more powerful than the person you've just killed. So does that mean that you're losing power while you're eating that person, or I never understood it?
You're diluting your powers. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's like a vampire mixing with humanity.
Ew.
Yeah.
You know, I like most people when I was younger, thought vampires were cool. And then I read some vampire books, and they're all either gay or really gay.
What ones are gay?
I take it you've never read any on Rice novels, no? Because
What
with
about the Anne
Stott is
Rice
actually
novels?
because the vampire is Stott, the one who the movie was made about. What would you call it?
Oh, Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, he was actually gay in the books.
Ah, that's why you never took.
Well, in all fairness, guys, if you think about it,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that went well. We're trying to think about it. We're not 100% sure what we're trying to think about, but we're thinking about it.
good. Think hard. Right. Hopefully, you can hear me still.
Yes.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Right. Think about it, Kate. Vampires live for X hundred years. They've probably shagged everything that they can, so they may as well move on to something else. And he obviously went on to men, is what it is.
So that's the reason why society's fucked, because everybody's over 100 years old and they've got bored of fucking females.
Yes.
Wow, vampires are MGTOW.
There we go. Now we know.
We've heard it here first.
There's your conspiracy right there.
It's not really a conspiracy. That's more of a reality check.
Yeah, good point.
That one's more of a reality check. Morality check? Yeah, go on then. That'll do. That was a word I was looking for. It really wasn't, but it will do.
You know, I think you should start drinking because, you know, on streams where you're drinking, you actually make more sense.
Hey, true. I'm not going to disagree with you.
I mean, when you were on with that, you know, white hater, you were drinking and you made perfect sense the whole way through. You're not drinking tonight and you're mumbling, you know, quite badly.
I'm not mumbling quite badly. I'm just fucking up on the pronunciation of words.
Words are hard.
Some words can be hard. Some words can be hard. Reading stories on a live setting can be extremely hard. Just ask Mr. Voice over there because he doesn't even edit his fucking videos.
What the fuck are you going on about, you cheeky cunt? That's not the first time you fucking said that at me. I'd love to know what exactly this complaint is.
I don't have a complaint. There's no complaint. I just found it funny that you sometimes go, oh, you can't do this and you can't read that. And then you on an actual video where you can edit out the fucking mistakes that you make, go, yeah, I can't be fucked editing it out, even though I made a mistake while reading.
No, I fuck up. You know, that's part of who I am. There's no point hiding it. I'm not, you know, I'm not perfect, so I hide the fucking fact. You know.
Nobody's perfect, but if you have a chance to being able to cut something out like that, then you cut it out. That's the process of editing.
No. Leave it in. More. It's more character. It's more. You know. It's more of me. You know.
Fair enough.
He was too
Fair
late.
enough.
I will leave that there. It's more of me. It's more of me.
Yes.
Speaking of it's more of me, oh to me or oh to you, here's some Shakespeare, so fuck you. Right, so Shakespeare rewrite means a six-figure fine for exam board for OCR. So this should be interesting. The exam board, OCR, faces a six-figure fine for an error in last year's GCSE English exam, which rewrote Shakespeare. Now, do we think this was done on purpose, or was this generally a mistake?
Let's be honest, they're rewriting everything. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
There's a possibility. Not unless he has trans DNA, he can transmute from being a Montague and a Capulet. Because the paper confused the family of a key character to Bolt in the bards Romeo and Juliet, suggesting he was a Montague when in fact he was a Capulet. Obviously, Tybalt's the one that dies right at the beginning. For anybody who doesn't remember too much to do with Shakespeare. At the time, students took to Twitter to vent their scorn for the examiners. Now, England's exam regulator, Ofqual, or Call, or whatever the fuck that is, has announced that it intends to fine OCR 175,000, which, to be fair, isn't that high considering it completely fucked up an historical accuracy.
Yeah, but one little point here. This is a government body suing another government body for taxpayers' money.
That's the point there, actually.
So no one is actually getting screwed here. You know, that's a pointless fucking fine.
Well, I think it's more of a case of probably being able to just check that. No, that's definitely governmental. You're correct on that one. Now let's find out what the OC fucking R is. I don't even know what the fucking OCR is. I've never even fucking heard of them.
I was hoping it was going to come up. Oh, okay.
Oxford, Cambridge, and RSA, an examining board set. So it's not actually government. That one's not government. It's also got a CEO, Lee Shapiro. Oh, Shapiro. Mm. So it's actually a government body actually suing a public body. So, you're wrong, voice.
Never.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still a small amount. It's still a small amount considering that this is actually changing history and it's actually changing those people's grades as well. Yes, I know it's only one question, but it's still changing history on it and it's still changing the people's history and actual grades for the GCSEs.
Sorry, no, hang on. What history are you talking about, sir? I don't believe that was real.
I didn't say the history was real, as in the fact that it was. The history I mean is the fact that it was written that way. The history of the actual Romeo and Juliet, not the history as in the Montagues and Capulets actually existed, and Romeo actually did poison himself to prove that he loved fucking Juliet.
I was just making sure, sir.
No, you were just trying to get a one-upmanship. Don't fucking lie to me, bitch.
I would never try to get a one-upmanship on you.
No, never, never, never. Mine or yours? Mine or yours?
Mm-hmm.
The questions asked. What? The question asked students: how does Shakespeare present the ways in which Tybalt's hatred of the Capulets influence the outcome of the play? So that would be an actual shit question, considering that he was a Capulet. So it would be the hatred of the Montagues. I just thought this would be an interesting story, considering that everything seems to be fucking up either from a government body or from private bodies in themselves. It doesn't matter anymore. People are not proofreading what they're doing. They just assume that they're correct rather than checking it.
Can I just bring up a interesting point here? How many of the viewers and even the people on the stream have actually read Shakespeare?
Me?
Me?
I'm a nerd, I'll admit it.
I did it at fucking school. I don't go out and fucking read it myself. I did fucking 4 or 5 different fucking plays at school and had to read the fucker for bloody English.
Yeah, we never got that far in my school.
That's because you're fucking Irish, that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the Romeo and Juliet movie, which was quite stylistic but good.
Yeah, we watched that as well, to be fair. We watched that. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Titanic. Romeo and Juliet.
Although I do much prefer Much Ado About Nothing. That was actually
That's a good one. That's a good one. My favourite is 12th Night. I absolutely love the fact that everybody gets so fucked that they actually see fairies and fucking talking donkeys.
Completely agree with you, mate. That is awesome.
I like that one. Oh, you were saying before the stream that I'm not sure if this was actually confirmed or not. I haven't seen it myself, but you said before that a fellow is now actually being stopped in schools because of racism.
There is the suggestion that they are going to ban it because of Othello and the fact that it's now being classed as racist, whereas with Romeo and Juliet, underage sex, poison, suicide, and all of that's perfectly acceptable. But just because there may have been some racist comments in Othello, that's it, we're banning it. I mean, that's just getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, especially since it wasn't written today. It's got a lead male character. It's about his struggles in life. If he doesn't face any struggle, then what's the point?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, it should be celebrated as one of the great black leads in history of literature. Yeah, fucking.
No, I agree with you. That's the thing. And why should we be able to change what's been written and ban what's been written? It's the same thing as To Kill a Mockingbird and other similar ilks. Yes, okay, it was written with racist terminology, but it actually shows the humanizations of those type of people for those times as time of day as well, time of year. Little House on the fucking Prairie is now being fucking stripped away as well.
Yep,
All these literature points.
Hang on. What are they going after Little House on the Prairie for?
Because they said, "Oh, Indians live here." Apparently, that's racist. Only Indians live here. I believe is one of their terms for it.
And they call black people darkies at one
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not like calling them Nigger Jim.
No.
You know, this is a fucking family TV show.
Yes.
I mean, holy fuck.
Well, they're trying to get rid of Huckleberry Finn as well, aren't they? They're trying to ban Huckleberry Finn.
I'm telling you, just anybody who calls himself a progressive need a bullet.
Weren't they trying to get rid of Dr. Seuss's as well? All of Dr. Seuss's books?
You know,
No,
I heard that somewhere.
I think that was because Melania Trump actually read from one of the books, and I know there was a fucking primary school teacher or a grade school teacher, whatever you call it in America, attacked Melania over it.
Nope.
Her choice book. So
that's wrong. No, that's wrong. It was actually a librarian, and she actually, Melania Trump, donated all of her Dr. Seuss's books to the library. And because, obviously, as you already said, because Melania did it, the librarian wanted to point out that all of Dr. Seuss's caricatures of people were completely racist depictions of what was going on. He drew them as stereotypes. And because he did that, and because he was racist in his own time, they didn't want the books.
Yeah, because libraries are doing so fucking well today.
Apparently so. Apparently so. I completely agree. The fucking progressives in themselves are literally destroying their own history to try and rewrite to make themselves feel better. I don't understand that. I really don't. You can't rewrite history and say, well, slavery never happened because, we're good people. It did fucking happen. We need to learn from it. Get over it. These things happened. We as white people and we as black people and we as Indians and we as fucking other people were racist and prejudiced towards other people and other races. It was embedded into us from the start of humanity. We are learning. All of us are learning and coming together. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, that's yet to be fucking seen. But racism doesn't exist anywhere near to the same extreme as what it was. And as a governmental or fucking the idea of what's the fucking word? Systemic fucking racism in any country nowadays, westernized country, is absolutely fucking ludicrous.
Yeah,
in my fucking opinion, anyway.
But just to go further on your point, if they change all this, then their claims of actual, mistreatment of people of color back in the day goes out the window, because if they remove all of these things and the next generation doesn't know they exist, how are they going to then claim that, well, there was these books, but we changed them so they don't exist anymore, so we can't actually prove that this was actually racist anymore? Yeah, it's fucking...
No, I'm completely and utterly with you. Let's take it a step further. The ideology from the left is to try and get rid of the ideas that people were racist and trying to get away with racist ideology, for instance. That's the mindset. If you take away the written perspective in books, then apparently the racism is not going to be talked about, so it never happened, apparently. I don't agree with that, but that's the premise. So if you go a step further, then isn't that exactly what the Nazis did in Germany by getting rid of all of the books and all of the scholars? Because they didn't want them to be talked about and remembered, and they didn't want books to be able to educate people in the right way of thinking, as in a free, logical way. They wanted them to be taught by the Nazis. That's why so many lecturers in universities and schools were taken away and actually put in internment camps, or actual concentration camps, sorry. They were all part of that. Is that the same thing that you're trying to go for? That now if somebody actually mentions the fact that Huckleberry Finn had racist tendencies because he called other people names, and you meant, what the fuck was that?
Yes, well, I think we can all agree that the quote-unquote anti-fascists are actually being the real fascists here.
Who's got cows? I know it's not Quinn, because Quinn's in London.
Oh, that would be me. Countryside.
Ah, you have a cow. You don't need a sofa. You've got your leather.
Not today. There were dung spreading today, so there's quite a unique smell coming through the window at the minute.
Oh, no.
That's one of the downsides of the country.
See, I would have thought that would have been an aphrodisiac.
No.
Listen, I'm not German.
Whoa.
We all know them. They're Scott videos.
I'm telling Weltschmidts.
Who?
I'm telling Weltschmidt stories.
I don't know who that is or what you're talking about.
You remember
he didn't watch. He used to come on with Miyanoga quite often.
German dude, tried to argue communism, failed so miserably it was almost funny.
Was that the guy you were on with the other night?
Yep.
Oh, you do watch me. Oh,
yes, I do. Fuck's sake. I mean, I even made a few points in the chat, but you never did fucking look at it, so
I do fucking look at it. I just don't look at what you write because you write fucking racist shit, you bastard.
I asked two completely legitimate fucking questions.
What were they?
Well, one of them was that your German guy said that the AfD was more like Nazis, but I asked, well, which government party is actually silencing the people and which government party is actually silencing the press?
I remember a statement that you made before that question.
What was that? Kill all Jews?
No. That was AfD for the win.
Yeah, and?
But I don't look at the chat though. I don't look at the chat. I never read it.
Well, exactly. AfD for the win. Clean up your country, Germany. I'm just saying the Nazis did a lot wrong, but they had some unique ideas that might pay off in the future for Germany.
The views that are expressed on this live stream are completely enough to the people that are actually on the live stream and not a representative of common sense guys' views or personality.
Why does everybody keep saying that anytime I speak?
You're racist.
Imagine,
mate. Oh, that's good. That's good. We like that. Speaking of racists and fucking votes and shit like that, we actually are going to move on to, apparently, it's unfair. It's unfair to actually take a penalty shootout, apparently, according to the Europeans now. Now that they've actually lost one, and it's not against England, fuck off with your fucking advertisements, you fucking bastards. So apparently, according to Euronews, penalty shootouts are unfair Here's how they could be fairer. And apparently this is a view because, you know, they wouldn't actually create an actual story about this, would they? So why are penalty shootouts controversial? Before 1978, when a FIFA World Cup game in the knockout phase was tied at the end of extra time, the winner was decided on the coin toss because that's fair. Because, you know, that's definitely fair, basing it on the idea of a coin toss.
Oh, yes. Spent 90 minutes killing each other to get goals on a coin toss. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, apparently so. That was apparently the good idea. Decide whether to take the first or the second kick. After that, teams A and B take 5 penalties each, an alternative pattern that is according to the sequence, but whatever that is. That did not go to where I wanted it to go. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Let me just go back up here. I'll get there. Right. The rule can be called ABAB or AB. The reason why I bring the story up, because I'm going to be honest, the actual reason was nothing to do with the fact of penalties and football and things like that. It's the analogy that, to be fair, my dad and I don't want to say this, but fucking Piers Morgan fucking said. I really don't like Piers Morgan, but hey, whatever on that one. He still used a good analogy, and that is what would happen if Man United and Arsenal played football when they played a football match, and all the Arsenal fans, when they lost 2-1, wanted to replay the match again. This is exactly what's happening for the referendums. And the reasons why I brought this up is because apparently taking penalty shootouts is unfair, even though it's a basis of skill and things like that, and could be classified as a democratic process. I just thought that the analogy could be extended to this. And if the Europeans think that shootout is unfair, what do they think of the actual referendums?
Yeah, well, I would say to make this a much more, what would you say, fair system for the football players, I say we allow every member of each team to take a kick at the goal, and whoever misses gets shot in the field.
Oh, I like that. That'll make the game more fun.
Yeah, I'm going to say the views expressed in this live stream are the views and the of the people that express them, and are not an extension of the Common Sense Guy's views.
Well, come on. I mean, and I'm probably going to piss off quite a lot of people here, but football's fucking boring.
To some people, it can be. To some people, it can be. I mean, I absolutely love football. It's one of my favourite pastimes. I love watching it. But I do understand how some people can feel that it's boring. I do understand that. That it's not for everybody's cup of tea.
You don't even have cheerleaders. You know, I mean, get a few skimpy girls with outfits on the sidelines doing some nice dancing, and that way people can watch something other than the football.
If you wanted to do that, why didn't you just go watch low-key soft porn instead of a game?
Well, you could do that, but then, you know, what's the point? You have to give people, you know, a range of options, you know.
No, if you want to watch football, baseball, tennis, whatever, then you go to watch worse. The game. You don't go to watch the fucking girls in the background.
I've never got an image of tennis cheerleaders. Wow.
Yeah, I don't need tennis cheerleaders. Most of the tennis players are fucking fit nowadays for the women, obviously. Just me? Just me.
You must be the only one who watches fucking tennis.
I quite like tennis, to be fair. I actually quite like tennis.
I'm going to hit this ball at you. Okay, now I'm going to hit this ball back. And then we're going to do that quite a lot. And yeah, wow, exciting.
You have to make tennis more interesting. What you do is you replace the ball with a hand grenade with a random timer.
Nice.
Much more exciting again.
Yeah.
Why did I invite you two on again?
I have no idea, dude.
Because we bring up new and interesting views on things. You know, we are the outside the box thinkers.
They're definitely outside the box. Definitely outside the box.
There's a box.
Yeah, otherwise you don't get a penalty. Sorry, shit joke, but it will do.
Dear God. Oh, that was terrible.
Right
It will
now, the one
do.
person who watches football is laughing.
Yes. I am laughing at my own jokes. I feel like I've hit rock bottom. For people that now have realised that I am completely and utterly alone and a loner, you can unsub. I will understand why.
Actually, I have to say, you're moving up the sub count quite quickly, sir.
Yes, possibly, maybe. It's still nowhere near as quick as fucking Magic Bollocks, though, the bastard.
I don't know. He's fucking buying subs, that cunt. I'm telling you.
I didn't even say it this time, fucking
But
Magic Bollocks. I didn't even say it. I didn't even hint at it.
Bollocks, if you're listening, you're buying fucking subs. There's no way with what little content you have up, you got that many fucking subs. You're buying them, you cheeky cunt. I want to see proof otherwise.
He hasn't been cut off from live streaming, so does that mean that Mad Dodge actually bought his, or was it a case of he actually got cut off for it?
Russians!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Again, why do I bring you two on again?
Actually, I'll tell you why you don't bring me on ever again. I can actually make football more exciting. You have a sniper in each of the big lighting systems, and whoever's got the ball is free to shoot at. Make the game much more exciting.
Or landmines.
Oh, I like that.
Randomly turned on and off by Wi-Fi, so you never know when one could go off.
I'd watch that. I'd actually watch that version of football. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm just looking at fucking CSG space right now.
Brilliant, isn't it? We are never going to be invited on a game. Just
I was going to say one thing. You're a Harry fucking dicks. Yeah, you're dicks. All of you are dicks.
It's all right, Jansen. We will be invited on again. He hasn't got that many friends.
I'll find some more.
Will you have your black friends you could bring on?
No, because they always want to fight me for some reason. I don't know why they want to fight and beat me.
I swear I
I've
never
learned my
so
lesson. I bought myself a self-punishing whip instead of going to do that.
I just had to laugh that stream where you were fucking your face was getting red. You were drinking. It was that African cunt. It wasn't with the usual nutter, but the other one.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
One is even fucking worse. We asked me to come and debate his fucking brother afterwards.
Did he?
Yeah, he sent me a message on Facebook going, "Oh, no hard feelings. I do want to debate my brother because he thinks that he's got some points to make. We'll actually make this a debate." And it's just like, no, you can't, and no, I'm not, because you're.
Well, you've heard how one of them challenged Sharati to a debate and has bottled out of it, haven't you?
No, I didn't hear that they bottled out of it.
Oh yes, they're not even communicating with her whatsoever. We gave them 3 days and that's it. As far as I'm concerned, they bottled it. That's their problem. They were too scared to take on a white woman. I mean, what else do I need to say? It's not like she's rude to them, just to me, but she won as far as I'm concerned, and they can sit there and say that they love to debate as much as they like. They were the ones that bottled out. They haven't got the balls to stand up.
Do you know what the good thing is? I know that African supremacy is actually sub to me. I also know that his brother's sub to me. And I also know that Reality's Temple on Earth is still sub to me.
Well, if you can hear me, all of you lot, you lost. You bottled out. You are cowards. I am calling you a coward to your face. I hope this message gets through. There you go.
This is the reason why we're able to, make your entire country part of the British Empire.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody from Northern Ireland that is on literally the fringes of the United Kingdom is like, yeah, we're able to do this. We didn't fucking help, but we were able to do it.
Oh, don't you fucking go there, pal.
Yeah, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Apparently all Irish are from fucking India now.
Yes. Yes.
What's on India? Now we know.
I'm Irish Indian. Or I'm an Indian Irishman. Or I'm an Irishman in New York.
Yep, he's now sulking.
Yeah, he's making a
Actually,
coffee.
I'm going to make a fucking coffee.
You're not doing too well then, are you? You keep on coming back and forth. You can't stay away from
That's
the
because you
computer.
cheeky bastard say something, I have to reply. I don't want to miss getting fucked over here.
But I know that you're away from the keyboard, so it makes it more fun.
I will be rewatching this.
This is why I like having voice on. He's too easy to piss off.
Very, very true. But let's pretend we're actually doing a sensible stream. And where was we?
Never.
Oh, yes, football.
No football. We're moving on. You've fucked it all up. You both fucked it all up, and now that you both fucked it all up, you have to deal with the consequences. And bang! Now you can deal with abortion.
Oh God!
This was a serious stream. I fucked it up.
You let us on. That was a mistake.
That was the mistake, but it was my mistake, so I fucked up. I fucked this shit right up. Speaking of fucking shit, we feel like second-class category citizens, say abortion campaigners. Yay! Abortion. Protesters have been venting their opposition against planned changes to Poland's abortion laws in Brussels. So, obviously, for people that are following this, that are in the chat, is a case that this is not something that Poland themselves are voting on or trying to ratify or trying to change, like in the Republic of Ireland. It is a case of this is the European Union telling the Polish people that you need to fucking change or else. So that's what the crux of the story is. It's not actually about abortion on this occasion. It's the fact that Brussels is dictating to another country what it can and cannot do. And we will get to you in a minute, Mr. Danny Dyer. Sit the fuck down. They think moves to ban terminations in cases involving irreparably damaged fetuses is wrong. Again, this is not what the issue is. Everybody can argue on the different points of this. This is to do with the EU that is telling and dictating another country what it can and cannot do with its own laws. This is a special Polish commission of legislators examined the proposal. If such a law passes, it will put us in a more marginalized position than we are at the moment, said Gosia Kowalski.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Kowalski? Or Kowalski? Or we're just going to go, it's Andy Warski's sister, Gosia.
That's all.
A Polish activist. We do feel like second category citizens whose rights are not protected, but we get threatened by the lawmakers, and this is not right. Obviously, this story is actually referring to, again, and I'll put this so everybody can understand it, when she says lawmakers, she means the European Union, not Poland. And if you remember correctly, this is the reason why we wanted to leave the EU, because we didn't want to be dictated to what laws can and should be changed. So when people from the Remain campaign say that the EU never interfere into other countries' lawmaking decisions, I direct you to Exhibit fucking A. Campaigners fear that tighter restrictions would lead to more illegal abortions and hike the health risks for women. In other words, if they do change the fucking law, they're still going to actually have an abortion anyway, regardless, which should be held into account. Which I thought that the EU was for, liberation, my body, my choice. But apparently not. They want the European institutions to pile pressure on governments like Poland. Again, the whole crux of the actual story. The fact that the European Union wants to put pressure on Poland's government to be able to implement the changes that the EU wants. So at some point, I bet you any money that you like on this, that they will actually impose more sanctions on Poland, because remember, Poland already have sanctions on them at the moment for not actually taking in refugees. And when I say refugees, I mean economical migrants.
Mhm.
We want European MEPs in the context of next May's elections to focus on the defense of sexual and reproductive rights, defense of women's rights, including the right to terminating a pregnancy, said Sylvie Larsberg. That'll do. From the Council of Francophone Bulgarian Women.
It'll do.
Yay! Language! Polish opposition politicians claim the law change plan is time to switch attention from Warsaw's controversial Supreme Court reforms. So obviously people are trying to claim different bits and pieces on that one. Has his lordship stopped actually making the coffee, and can he actually comment on something, or does he actually hear what we're saying?
No, I got back. I didn't want to interrupt you. You reading the article. So
I say reading. You say reading. I say management.
So basically, the EU is trying to strong arm Poland again.
Yes.
Fuck the EU.
I'm glad that we got this story done.
No, I mean, they do understand that if the EU has to understand that if it keeps pissing off the countries in it, they're all going to fucking leave. I mean, what's their fucking end goal here?
To ostracize everybody, thinking that if they, which is funny because they portray themselves as this big, caring, familyistic point where everybody's the same and equal. But yet, anybody that disagrees with their forms of democracy is a case of they, as you quite rightly said, get strong-armed into either doing what the European want, or you have to vote 2 or 3 times to actually get what the European actually wants, i.e. the Lisbon Treaty, and i.e. second referendum. I mean, the second vote on the Brexit deal. So, yeah. When they say that they believe in the ideas of democracy, they don't. They just believe in the facade of democracy. Because when anybody goes against their version of democracy, in other words, actually having democracy, don't tell no one. When they actually have their ideas of democracy, they actually push so hard against it to stop people actually having their own forms of democracy, and wonder why the far-right parties or the populist parties are actually gaining momentum and actually winning local elections, i.e. Belgium. Not Belgium, Bulgaria, I'll get it right, Czech Republic, Italy, Hungary, Romania. Well, their equivalent of right wing, which is kind of just left of centre. But and you've got a couple of others. I mean, Holland are getting very, very close to having right wingers in charge. Austria are very, very close to having right wingers in charge. In fact, Germany, as we had said yesterday, are very close to having right wingers in charge. So it's a case of the EU is doing really well in destroying itself from the inside. So carry on.
Completely agree with you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, sir. No, go ahead, sir.
All right. Simply put, Britain needs to turn around to the various countries in Europe and say, look, guys, we're leaving. You guys should come too. We'll start our own Commonwealth all over again. Screw the EU, join us. That will completely drive the people in the EU absolutely mental. And I think that would be absolutely hilarious to see.
Well, honestly, I would say that a lot of countries are actually waiting for that. I would say they're going to look at Britain, and after we actually do fucking leave, the sooner the better. You know, I mean, and we do all right. We're going to take a small hit. That's just
do.
Child, but you know, we are going to be able to do better by ourselves. And then I think you'll see countries like Poland, Bulgaria, and Italy going, well, if they can do it, so can we.
Mm.
And then I would say you're going to see Greece going, well, and I'm surprised they haven't done this. I mean, that's probably why the EU lifted, what was it? They had a deal for their debt. They've actually lifted some of it.
Yeah.
So they have. That's why they're doing that, because they don't want Greece to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd say everything will be riding, or a lot will be riding on what happens when we actually do leave.
Aren't they
That'll be-
redoing the borders for Greece as well at this moment in time? Aren't they they have New Macedonia, and Greece are claiming some rights to Macedonia, I believe, or New Macedonia, and they're actually the EU are actually trying to say no, the Greece actually have rights to it.
I haven't heard anything about it, sir.
I'm pretty sure.
I have, and yes, what it was the Greeks were pissed off because the Federal Republic of Macedonia wanted to call itself Macedonia, and Macedonia belongs to the Greeks, and basically lots and lots of complaining and moaning because that's our name. If you want it, give it back.
So sort of like Scotland then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I did this story. I think the actual story in itself is just a kick in the teeth to actual people that voted to leave and actually wanted to leave because of this reason. The EU is actually dictating the laws in which countries should be following, and it's not a democratically elected process anymore. It never was in the first place, but I'm just trying to elaborate. But you try and show these type of stories to people that are on the left, or people that voted to remain either side, mostly left wingers, but either side, and they just go, well, they should be in line with European values. They've bought into the idea that the European Union is the form of democracy to follow. When, as we all know, democracy doesn't mean you follow everything. You follow what's best for your own country. That's the reason why we have borders. Which is the reason why I wanted to talk to Welshman Stories yesterday about having the borders. Because if somebody can believe in having the borders, then you can believe in democracy for the individual countries rather than a superstate. And let's be honest, that's what the EU is. I think the voice of one just calmed in his sofa.
That increased.
Not just it.
Sorry, I had to.
It's okay. I don't mind, sir. I can help myself.
Well, either that coffee was really good, or
Actually, it is.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yes. I really don't want to do this story.
Why?
Don't want to do it because it's Danny Dyer, and I used to like Danny Dyer.
Oh, great! Fucking. Oh.
I don't like Danny Dyer.
I'm famous for, talking and swearing.
Oh no, it gets better. It gets much better. This rant by Danny Dyer about Brexit is absolutely iconic. So last night on ITV, one of the most iconic political speeches of all time happened. Presenting actor, philanthropist, man of letters, and all-round good egg, Danny Dyer's thoughts on Brexit. Oh, let's watch this fucking shit.
No one's got a clue what Brexit is, yeah? You want question time? It's comedy.
Were you no clearer when Jeremy Corbyn...
No, I ain't got a clue. No one knows what it is. It's like this mad riddle that no one knows what it is, right? So what's happened to that twat David Cameron who called it off? Let's be fair.
Oh,
You're a very good former brother. Yeah, but why, how comes he can scuttle off it, call all this on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He has no regrets.
Where is it? He's in Europe, in Nice, with his trotters up. Yeah? Where is the geezer?
What a cunt.
I think he should be held accountable for it. I think he should be held accountable for it.
It's a valid point. A lot of people do feel that
That's an
Hang on just a
iconic,
minute. Hang on just a minute. Let me just return that back down again. There we go.
that's an iconic speech, calling someone a twat. Over.
Yes.
Fuck's
Yes.
sake.
That's what adds and constitutes to the actual fucking story. The fact that he's called David Cameron a twat, and he should be held accountable for actually having the democratic will of the people being followed. Hence why he couldn't leave it, because otherwise UKIP would have actually got into fucking power, which probably would have been a better idea.
Well, let's be honest. He did fucking face the music. He's no longer fucking prime minister.
Yeah, he completely chilled and fucking run away because he's a fucking wanker.
God, and that's something I would never have thought in my life. Fucking Pamela Anderson next to a communist, you know.
Yeah. To be fair, I absolutely love Jeremy Corbyn's face in that epic rant. Sorry, I couldn't help it. But I love Jeremy Corbyn's face in it. He was just looking at him like, yeah, I know what you're talking about me as well. You're telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm going to be quiet and not say nothing. You carry on, son.
I think he was scared in case Danny leaned across and punched him.
Oh, he would have been held as a fucking hero then.
No, you know what Corbyn's doing there? He's trying to look cool, like he's like, you know, yeah, I'm so with fucking Dara in this one, yeah.
Well, that's a bit champagne socialist. I thought he was full on communist.
I don't know which way he speaks, you fucking stupid cunt.
Fuck you.
All I know is he hates Jews. So, you know.
That is true. That is true.
The Labour Party hates Jews for some reason.
For some reason. Have no idea why. The anti-Semitic bastards. See, I like this in quotation. So what's happened to that twat David Cameron who brought it on? You mean the person who was able to let people actually express their democratic rights of being able to vote on this issue that's been pressing people for years?
Yeah, and the only reason he got re-elected, because that was the campaign promise that he run on to get a second term, was the fucking Brexit vote.
Yes.
And he lost and he ran away.
Yeah. I mean, even to continue on quotations of what they've just said, how comes he can scuttle off? He called all this on. Yes, he called this on because he saw that the democratic will of the people was to have a referendum on the issue. He didn't think that he was going to lose, obviously. That's why he called a referendum, to be able to shut people up from UKIP and predominantly people like Nigel Farage, but didn't realise that actually the country was going to vote to leave. Admittedly, yes, it was on a slim margin and not everybody in every place did, but democratically we voted to leave. So the only thing that David Cameron can do at that point, and I thought he was very brave in doing this, to be honest with you, and a lot of people would disagree with me, but he actually said, well, I cannot be Prime Minister because I voted and was pushing for remain, sorry. So I cannot be the Prime Minister to actually lead you into leaving the EU because it will go against my principles. I actually thought that, even though it was probably a cop-out, I thought it was quite brave in actually doing that.
No, I agree with you. I think he did the right thing in quitting as well. Because he's, you know, as you said, he was biased, you know, so he wouldn't have done the best job. So, yeah, I completely agree with you on that.
And then we got fucking the Pisa Teresa. The Puritan of Puritists.
I find it funny. I mean, like, yes, that word sums up Danny Dare perfectly.
Twat.
He's a loudmouth twat that doesn't know fuck all about anything. Well, nobody knows what Brexit is. Yeah, we actually fucking do, you fucking retard.
Well, that's the thing with Danny Dye. He tries to play this fucking hard man and everything else. The thing is, the reason why he plays that is because he's not intelligent enough to play anything else. But that's besides the point. The thing that I wanted to bring up more is this idea of, and this is in quotations, I think he should be held accountable for it. And what do you mean by that? How do you think that David Cameron should be held accountable for providing the country with the option of expressing its democratic will?
Well, that's a good question, man.
Should we hang him? Should we put him in prison? Should we beat him? Well, what would you guys think that he would mean by held him accountable?
Let's be honest, if you start beating Cameron, he'll probably enjoy it.
No, he only likes pigs. He's not into that.
Well, I'm probably outside the box in this one, but I have no problem hanging all politicians. So
This is why I don't have you on. The rules express that people in this stream are no representative of the common sense guy. They are all representative of their own views.
I can guarantee you, everyone after I said that hit like to the dead. No one likes politicians.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Nobody likes politicians, but I don't think that they should be hanged, and I especially don't think David Cameron should be hanged for actually doing what a politician should do and actually letting the country in itself for this important issue be able to vote on it.
Oh no, he did a good thing there, but why can we not hang him? He's still a politician.
Because he did do one good thing.
Ah, so one good thing gets you off.
No, one good thing deserves another.
Okay, so instead of hanging him, we just, flog him. How about
that? Maybe. I cannot agree or disagree with that statement.
You fucking pussy.
Fuck you, you go get flogged.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with a good flogging now and again.
It depends on who's doing it. But no, on a serious point, very quickly, I do think that this idea that somebody like David Cameron from Danny Dyer's ideology, he should be held accountable for it. I don't understand why you would hold the Prime Minister at that time accountable for giving the democratic will to the people and the population. I don't understand what he can be held accountable for.
No, you're right.
Yeah, well, here's another question. If Danny Dyer is such a hero of the people, why isn't he, wanting Corbyn to be held accountable for all the anti-Semitism in his fucking party?
Because he fucking hates the Jews as well.
I don't get all this Jew-hating thing. I mean, anybody who watches this who hates Jews, just look up Israeli female soldiers, and you'll never hate Jews again. Because they are some of the hottest soldiers on the fucking planet.
See, I don't know if people know who Femi is, because I'm just showing you on the thing where he actually types in Danny Dyer is basically Shakespeare. But he is the person who is the main person who made the youth vote for the second referendum. Femi Logra, blah blah blah. Oh, where are you? I can't fucking see you. Wow, that's a big fucking that you just had. Yeah. OFOC Brexit co-founder.
Well, he needs
for young people, our future, our choice. Our future, our choice. He's that person who voted for that. And he's put Danny Dyer as basically Shakespeare. This is just to prove that all it was virtue signaling. You've got Jeremy fucking Vine. The second twat from Danny Dyer is everything. Yeah. You've got fucking Edgar fucking White. Our poet laureate Danny Dyer. Let's rip over Brexit. Love this. I wonder fucking why. Wonder why. Then you have some fucking weird person called Tits McGee. I have no idea who that is. But just listening to this again, and the final twat from Danny Dyer is a thing of cultural beauty and should be preserved in a museum immediately. Yes, this person that is literally calling somebody names for giving the democratic vote to the people should be immortalized forever. I agree with you that this fucking level of idiocy, this level of idiocy should be fucking remembered. The fact that this is the point when people are actually saying that people that give the will and the democratic will to the people should be held accountable for it, like it's some kind of fucking criminal offense.
I mean, I'm just reading that last one there. The only person talking sense is Danny Dyer about Brexit. I mean, this shows the fucking perfect example of the left. They don't want any conversations, and basically, they go on about people not knowing anything. I guarantee you, if I asked Danny Dyer a bunch of questions about the referendum, about the EU laws, he wouldn't know a fucking thing.
No, I agree with you, mate. I honestly agree with you. But that's exactly the same thing as the left. They will use anything that they can to publicize their ideology. So they've used somebody like Danny Dyer that doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on about it. But because he spoke with some passion, they kind of think that, oh, he must know what he's talking about. No, he fucking doesn't. Just because that you're angry doesn't mean that you're educated just because you're angry. Or you're passionate about something because you're angry. It doesn't mean that. It just means you're fucking angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look at Danny Dyer's career.
Oh my fucking God. Let me just say this last one. I'd vote for that. This is from Gus Khan. So I'm not 100% who that is. It might be Oliver Khan's. It might be Amir Khan's fucking brother, or I don't fucking know. But I'd vote for Danny Dyer to be our prime minister right now, mate.
Oh dear God.
But no, that's the reason why I wanted to say it at the end. Because it shows you the fucking idiocy of the fucking left. Because they agree with them on one aspect, they would push the idea of having that person as prime minister, as the leader of our fucking country. Because he has the idea of we should punish fucking David Cameron for giving us the will of the people, to giving us the vote to be able to decide our own actions. You know, the actual proper definition of fucking democracy.
You know what the really, really big thing is? None of these people are attacking Gina Miller. None of these people are attacking anybody who is trying to derail Brexit. I mean, this is the people they should be attacking because they're going against the will of the fucking people. And yet, I don't know, man. Fucking, I'm telling you, we need to have. I mean, and I know I'm probably going to get a little rebuke over this, but yeah, we need a fucking culling in this country. Seriously.
No, I agree. These are the views of the common sense guy. I agree.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm just going to quickly read through some of these fucking comments, and I just wanted to get some of your ideas on them. And you've got Nick Lord Lancaster. Interestingly, Corbyn just had a go at Piers Morgan for calling Love Island contestants stupid. He didn't tell Danny Dyer not to call David Cameron a twat, though. I wonder if that's because Danny Dyer might smack him one, which I would have sucked Danny Dyer off if he did that.
No, that's a really good comment. You know, so it is. That's really good. You know, oh yeah, Piers Morgan insulting someone that's wrong, but Danny Dyer insulting someone that's correct. No, that's a very good comment.
No, I agree. That's the reason why I wanted to use it. But then you have Andrew Gibson, who says, why would he tell him off for speaking the truth, though?
Well, let's be honest, Love Island contestants are fucking stupid. Have you ever
saw
saw
what the context was? Don't take it out of context. You know exactly what Andrew Gibson was meaning.
No, but come on, you know, fucking anybody who's in reality TV is a fucking moron. Let's be honest here.
I agree with you. I do agree with you, but it's still the point of Mr. Lancaster put down that it's a case of Piers Morgan called out Jeremy Corbyn called Piers Morgan out for calling Love Island contestants stupid, but he wouldn't tell Danny Dyer not to call David Cameron a twat. It just proves the ideology. And then you have somebody else that's of similar ideology going, why would you tell him off for speaking the truth, though? Because obviously David Cameron is actually a twat, which is a pregnant fucking fish.
Yeah, well, Andrew Gibson isn't a millionaire, was never prime minister, so, you know, yeah.
Then you have Tamara Sopper. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that is her name, but it sounds like it. That would probably be because reality TV shows are edited to the point of no return, and you have no idea how these people are in real life. Nobody edited David Cameron to be a twat, he just is. And then you have somebody underneath that, Annie Tina or Annie, or whatever. Tamara Sopper, I had to log on, just to like your comment.
they were holding a gun to her head. Log on and like the comment or else.
To me, it just shows you the actual point of identity politics at this moment in time. It's no longer a case of if I was to call anybody on the left a twat, I would be fucking ostracized, same as all of you would be ridiculed. But because somebody on the left calls somebody on the right a twat or anything that's even worse, it's a case of now it's okay, it's acceptable. This is the point of when people like Sargon, Millennial Woes, and a couple of others of that ilk would actually point out the fact that this is hypocrisy. You can't have one rule for one and then one rule for another. It doesn't work that way. Your principles cannot be negotiated by ideologies.
You've never actually watched a video about Kevin Logan, then?
I sometimes watch Kevin Logan, but he put a recent video up about Lawrence Southern, about saying that Nelson Mandela was an extremist, trying to say that Nelson Mandela wasn't an extremist. It's like, do you even know the fact that he instigated fucking race riots to fucking begin with? He's actually instigated people killing other people. Yeah, he's definitely not an extremist by any sense of the imagination. That's the reason why he went to fucking prison, you cunt.
I mean, like, James Robert there, I voted Remain, but Europe is undeniably a cluster fucking mixed ideologies and it's slowly crumbling.
Well done.
You know, I honestly don't know if that guy did vote Remain, because, like, why would you vote Remain if you think it's a clusterfuck?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But that's the thing, though. A lot of people, when they've got on the BBC where they keep on trying to suggest that the same people that voted Remain are going to vote Remain again, and I don't think they are. I think a lot of people that voted Remain and now see the fact that the EU are fucking us over, that are falling apart. I think a lot of them, not a high percentage, but less would vote for Remain now than what they did before. I think there's a lot more of a smaller, hardcore group that is there. I think a lot of them are shifting to the centre and to leaving, in my opinion.
No, I would agree with that. A lot of this is just coming straight from London, though.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know, Scotland, you know.
You've got Jackie E. Miller. Our culture is more than just our talent for weaving colour language into particularly any situation. But I got to say that twat was British distilled. And then Danny Tay, that emphatic T at the start and the end of the word. It's the reason why I couldn't understand that is because that just makes no sense on the emphatic, but whatever. I think she means emphasis. At the start of the end of the word, the delivery was forceful. I felt it in my soul.
Yeah, these people have to be fucking neutered.
Yeah, no, I agree for that. Kira Simpson, Trump made president, totally could have died for MP.
Oh God, that's what we fucking want.
Oh, we have Alexandra Boskakov. I don't fucking know. I still don't understand how the average British person could be stupid enough to vote for Brexit. Never mind the huge and absolutely unpredictable impact on the economy, but the UK provides so many opportunities and resources for every member of the EU. Why would you deny yourselves all these resources? All because you hate foreigners, because you are too stupid to actually bother and find out what the EU can do for you. You're not allowed this law, so fuck off.
Yeah, as I said, a good British name there.
Yes, I agree with that one.
I mean, fucking, and that's actually that is actually the way people who voted Remain actually think of the voters, and we saw this across the press at the time. You know, we didn't know, the Brexiteers didn't know what they were voting for. we got that countless times. Too stupid,
Sorry, I've just read the fucking comment underneath the Alexander Boskakov one. To somebody called Dean Neal, I presume that he had something obviously against what Boskakov actually said. So Dean Neal, as an actual British person, I know that the majority of people who voted for this farce did so because they wanted to keep foreigners out and protect our borders. And because they were misled into thinking that by leaving, we would have more money to spend on our NHS. Oh dear God. Didn't the Conservatives and the Labour actually say that they were going to use the Brexit dividend that was going to come out, which is considered to be £365 million a week? Yes, you heard me correct. The actual bit on the bus, the Conservatives and Labour now agree that that's actually going to happen after we've left in 2022, that they're actually going to be able to get that. So where's the lie on that one? Both of these things were lies, spread through fear-mongering, especially the free movement argument, as all members of the EU have the ability to cap free movement. Now, if you know anything about the fucking EU, that's fucking bollocks. That's why countries are getting fucking sanctioned over the fact that they're not taking in their fair share. That really, sorry, things like that really piss me off. I fucking hate those type of arguments. We just never choose to do it. No, that's why David Cameron spent 2.5 years trying to convince the EU to soften up the fucking immigration thing, otherwise telling them that we would vote to leave. Yeah, we can cap the idea of free movement. Definitely.
No, but I'm sorry for interrupting, sir, but I was just reading Butchkuff's reply. And they really show how ignorant people are of the EU works, depicting Russell as some kind of overlord that dictates with an iron fist, which it does. All members of the EU, including Britain, have an active role in shaping these policies. The EU representatives that Britain voted for had just as much role to play in these raccoons as any. No, we didn't. We were completely outvoted dozens of times on everything.
In actual fact, facts.com or checkfact.com would actually tell you that around about 90% of the time that when we voted against the majority of the EU, we lost every time.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I really am.
We have a lot of abstains as well. I think there's around about 40% of the times that we abstained, the vote went against us as well. I think that we've been on 100% of winning times when we voted with the EU, surprisingly. Surprisingly. But, most people only use that point. I do love that, especially when you've got the free movement argument, as you just said, and you have, as all members of the EU have the ability to cap free movement, we just never choose to do it. I fucking love that, absolutely love that. It's just the next bit, just the last little bit, and then I'll move on to the next actual story. A lot of people voted for it. So leaving the EU is a glorified kerfuffle to do something we actually had the ability to do all along. Additionally, a lot of people voted for it as a sort of protest vote. They didn't actually think it had a chance in hell of going through, and they just wanted to protest. That's what my grandparents did. You mean you completely and utterly fucking badgered your grandparents into the idea of, why did he do it? Why did he vote for us to leave? Why did he do it? You're horrible. You're racist. Oh, we only did it as a fucking protest vote, love. Fuck off. I just hate these fucking antidotal fucking shit cunts that come out with these type of fucking answers. It's just ridiculous. Just the last thing from Alexander Boskarov. Dean Neal, well, I don't feel like coming to England to tell him But if you are passing by all means, send them this message. Britain is a part of the European Union. Those elections you have for the European Parliament, those people help to shape the EU's policy. You choose them. You have 73 seats in the European Parliament. That's nearly 1/10 of the 750 seats. So you're telling us that we have 10%, which is actually not correct. We actually have around about 9%, but I'll give you the 10%. So we have 10% of what can actually be had. You have huge influence. Yes, we have 10% influence on the European Union. That's massive, massive amount of influence.
Yes, because remember, everybody, 90% is not bigger than 10.
Yeah, apparently so. Yes, 10% is massive. You know, 1 more 0 and it's 100.
Don't say that. They may actually put that in as part of the math test. You're going to regret that, dude.
Damn it. God damn you, sarcasticness. God damn you. You have huge influence. The fact that these zookeepers, I guess that means she means zookeepers, and fishers are too stupid to vote for proper representation. Yes, because we only have 1/10 of the 750 seats, and we want to vote for proper representation, which is why a lot of zookeepers and fishers actually voted for UKIP. Yes, interesting. Those interested would rather piss on the election by voting for idiots who do nothing like UKIP. Is on them, not the EU.
I just have to ask, Mr. Bushcup, how many fucking zookeepers do you think we have over here?
10. They have 10%. You know, because that's a huge proportion of zookeepers.
Oh, that's just fucking funny.
I'm going to give you 10% of a pie and I'm going to keep the 90%. But remember, you have a huge influence on that pie. It's just fucking funny that people come up with these type of ideas. I don't mean to be disrespectful to them, and obviously the persons and people that are talking about this have their own opinions, and fair enough to them. Good luck to them. But when you actually write in your own self that there's nearly 1/10 of the 750 seats and you have a huge representation, do you not look back at what you wrote and go, "Oh, 10% of 100% is not really that big"? If you get something like Germany or France and, I don't know, Spain that are against you, that means you've lost your huge majority. That would mean that you would have lost any vote. That only happens 90% of the time. Oh, well, you know, 10% is bigger than 90, I suppose.
But remember there, he said, I don't feel like coming to England. So he's not even fucking part of the UK, so he doesn't get to have a, he's not even a fucking UK person, like, you know, and telling us that we did wrong. Fuck off, Boschkov, wherever you're from.
It's a Russian bot.
I'm sensing Eastern Europe, possibly Russia. I don't know what it is that says this to me.
I would just say Bulgarian. I would say Bulgarian. Come on. Let's have a look.
Absolutely nothing, of course.
Send you a friend request. I don't want to send you a friend request. I don't like you.
Come on, send him a friend request for the kids of it.
No. I don't want to
send him a friend request and a link to this stream.
Oh, that's funny.
To be fair, I've just realised that I'm actually got my actual friends that are actually on my Facebook, and it's actually my Facebook. So bye now. Please don't dox me. Please don't dox me.
There's a thing called editing.
Not on a fucking nice, you cunting fucking stupid cunt idiot.
I knew that would come back and bite you on the ass.
I'm not happy. I'm not fucking happy.
Oh, Lordy.
You're all dicks.
And that's why you was.
You're all dicks. I hate all of you. I'm gonna be doxxed, and it's all my fault.
But if it's your fault, then it must be someone else's fault because you're a millennial and nothing is ever a millennial's fault. You got
I'm
to
not a
remember
fucking
that.
millennial. Fuck you. I'm Generation X.
Are
I was born
you?
in '87.
Hi. So was I. I'm still classed as a proxy millennial, thank you.
No, I'm classed as Generation X.
You're from Gen X, so am I.
Yeah. Motherfuckers. Or in fucking Voice of One's case, mother lickers.
Well, I was born long before both of you, so.
You was born before dirt. What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck off, you.
To be fair, we don't actually really care what generation you are. Go learn how to word it.
So, you're talking about doxing yourself and you showed people your actual Facebook page on the year you were born.
I don't care. I'm doing politics at some point.
Well, why haven't you joined UKIP then?
I've joined I've applied to become a Conservative councillor for my local area.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. See how that fucking goes. They still haven't got back in contact with me. The head boss man did. Not Theresa May. But the actual bossman of the council representatives got back in touch with me, and we're going to shortlist you and put you forward to the actual local area. I was going to give away my local area then.
Let me give you a piece of advice. The moment they say, okay, you can run, delete your entire channel.
No.
Oh yeah, because
because Ogre said this as well. Ogre said this as well, that I should delete my channel because some of my views wouldn't be considered very mainstream. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. If somebody wants to bring up my political views, then it gives me a chance to explain them, and it's able to bring those ideas to the forefront and can be
that would be the problem. That's not the problem. It's guilt by association. You've hung out with cunts like us.
Well,
You have a point.
yeah, but it's still him.
To be honest, SG, respect for that, mate. The fact that you're actually willing to stand up and discuss it with them. Respect for that, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to stand up now. I'm not wearing any pants.
Ew, we do not need to know this.
I'm wearing shorts.
Be honest, you're wearing a thong. Just admit it.
I'm wearing shorts.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Am I actually going to have to stand up?
From the top up, he's a respectable Conservative candidate. From the bottom down, he's your guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, dude. I've got that image out of my head.
Hey guys.
Tim Curry. There we go. Now we all know the truth.
Help. Help me. Help. Oh, it's coming up to 11 o'clock. Should we do the last story? Do you guys want to do the last story?
You know, I'm just waiting for the last words. For once, I've actually got some last words.
Well, you're not having one. You can fuck off now.
Oh. Free speech. I demand my right to my last words.
Don't make me kick you. Right, should we do this last story and then do last words, or do you just want to go on to last words? I know what Jensen Quinn wants to do, so it's up to the voice now.
I don't care. I'm easy.
Voice. Fuck.
I've heard rumours about that.
Fuck, it's up to voice.
I don't know why I hang out with you cunts at all.
Because you love us. We're the only human contact you have in a world full of dung.
I don't need human contact. It's overrated.
Agreed.
But yet you still come on and talk to other humans on the internet. But I don't need it. I don't need human contact. I don't need it.
No, I'm only here to shill myself.
To shill? What? I only have like 90 more fucking subscribers than you do.
Yeah, but that's 90 more. At least, one of them might consider not, subscribing to me.
One of them might not consider subscribing. What was that?
Well, like, let's be honest, 89 are not going to subscribe, and one will think about subscribing and then not subscribe.
So what was the point of shilling yourself again?
Probably not at all, but you have to take the chance, like.
And this is the logic of an Irishman.
Yeah.
Right, should we do this fucking last story or should we all run away?
Last words.
Fuck off. I know what you want. You're not involved anymore.
Well, what's it about?
Brexit. May says EU must treat UK blueprint seriously.
Oh, fuck no. We've done enough Brexit tonight.
Okay, well, on to the last word. If I do this story, then please let me know in the comment section below before we start doing the last word. Anybody at all? Anybody let me know what you know? No, okay, well, last words. Quinn, you're up.
All right, and my last words are not going to be my usual 3-second speech. My last words are being directed to Reality's Temple on Earth and his bestest buddies that think that they can debate. Well, if they do not have the balls to actually debate after they challenged Shirati, this just proves how much of a bunch of spineless, pathetic cowards they are. And if they would like to come after me, please do. I enjoy it. Okay. Here you go, voice. Your turn.
The views expressed by people on this stream are the views of themselves and not considered the views of the common sense guy.
You knew you had to have that ready and waiting, didn't you?
I did. I had it written down and everything. Boy, stop drinking your coffee and speak, you cunt.
The ingredients are barley, soya, carbohydrates, flavorings, and stuff.
Okay.
Is that your final word?
Yeah,
Okay.
I keep forgetting you have one of these fucking things, all right? Someday I'll write some, but not today.
Oh, well.
Vote for CSD if he ever runs for office.
Right, to keep in line with my colleagues that seem to have been very quick at shooting their loads tonight, I'll keep this a little bit quicker than normal. The stories that I brought up today are more of a case of proving to the point that people are still on the points of ideology, still on the points of identity politics, rather than actually looking at the content and the contents of what people are saying and how they're saying it. They're looking at the ideological points and agreeing with the ideological points rather than the context of what they're saying. To use the points of Danny Dyer, when you start going around and calling people twats for their political views, kind of lost the argument before it's even started. Because you're not actually taking the person's views into account. Now, on some sides of politics, you have people that are on the left that go, you shouldn't entertain Nazis. To be honest, I wouldn't invite one into my fucking house. But I would still entertain their concepts because I would want to change their minds. But if I can't change their mind, I might change the minds of people that are around them that don't actually completely agree with what's going on, to show them that there is somewhere else to express their views. Because all people are looking for when they go to the right is a way of being able to express their views and talk about issues that affect them. So if they can find somewhere where they can express their views, they won't be forced to go with people that they don't politically align with themselves. And if they do, it's a case of they have a way out. They don't have to be ideological, standing off to make sure that they stick with them because they're the only echo chamber that they can have. Those are the points that I wanted to make today. is the fact that identity politics is so highly strung today that we're forming tribes, we're forming football teams. It's almost becoming a religion. It's almost becoming a cult mentality. I'm a conservative. I'm a centrist. I'm a libertarian. I'm a liberalist. I'm a communist. It doesn't really matter what the fuck you are. It matters about your ideas and how you express them. Those are what we need to learn. Those are what we need to pass on and pass to ourselves. Because if we can't actually express our views and express our opinions, what's the fucking point in having them? So, with that being said, I'd like to say thank you. And thank you to my guests for turning up for today. I bid you farewell. I bid you adieu. And I'll see you all again real soon. Fuck you, Voice of One.